And good morning. We're barely hanging on to the 50s as you're waking up. 59 right now. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome, and so glad to have you a part of what we do each and every day. Welcome, WMOX listeners, as y'all get up and get your day started as well. We appreciate you just as much. Could be some patchy fog wherever you are this morning. We got a lot to our west as we get into Louisiana and those areas there, but could be some patchy stuff here as well. Expect it to be windy today also for the next several days. It'll make that fishing line, well, sway a little bit, so to speak there. Get you into any tree that you're near, so be careful with that, which also makes us cautious of burning. I know that it's a little bit, we had some rain overnight also, wet stuff outside, but watch that wind when burning. We've got a lot to talk about what's going on. What are they calling this, Snapageddon? That is coming as we enter toward the first of the month. We'll tell you what we know. There's probably a lot of things about this you don't realize of who gets assistance. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that need it. Then there's some that don't. We'll get into some numbers of what I have found on all of this. Up and coming this morning. Let's go out to Collinsville now and get our first good word of the day.
Decisions that we make have lasting consequences, and often we are mesmerized by the shiny things in life that pull us into, let's just be honest, bad decisions, and we choose superficial or fleeting happiness at the expense of our own joy and those around us. You know, when Lot and Abram split ways, Lot chose to go live in Sodom, and he did this because he saw that the land was well watered and it was great for his livestock. But what he willfully chose to ignore was that Sodom was a terrible place to live because man, they were just living in absolute debauchery. They were sinning against the Lord, and God was greatly displeased with it. So it wasn't just a bad town. It was actually evil and wicked. Nevertheless, Lot chose to live there. And no doubt, living in a place like that, around people who lived there, it had an impression not only on Lot, but on his whole family. They eventually have to be essentially dragged out by angels sent from God because the men of the city wanted to take the angels, clothed as men, to do terrible things to them. Then, where we pick up, we see unthinkable things happen. Okay, Lot's two daughters, they get him drunk, and they sleep with him to preserve the family line. This is sickening. It's disgusting. It's terrible. It's hard to even think about, right? And all this really can be traced back to Lot choosing to subject his family to wicked and terrible things as they lived in Sodom. You know, it had an effect on his daughters so that they did not trust in God's provision and tried to preserve their family line, but they did it through perverse means. So here's what I want to impress upon you. Two things. Number one, remember that the decisions you make today will have an effect on you, but it'll also have an effect on those around you. And the consequences, they may be lasting. But secondly, man, if you hear this and you feel despair because you think, man, I've made terrible decisions in my life, there's no better time to start pursuing Jesus than now. Here's the deal. You never know what wounds might be healed, what God might do. Just remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. If you're traveling Highway 493 around where Lee's Bait and Tackle is, where Grace Fellowship Baptist Church is there in the sharp curve, I'm understanding there's some form of an accident. I don't think it has injuries, but as always, that curve is sharp, it's wet, it's slick, and it sounds like our friends from MDOT are going to probably have to replace another guardrail. I bet you they've got like a wing that says Highway 493. I can't tell you how many times that guardrail has been replaced. It's sharp. I had hoped when they had put that new stretch through there, that curve would go away. It's still there. I guess it was roads made many, many years ago. We didn't realize at that time just how dangerous curves could be for future generations, the way cars have changed. They didn't exactly go that fast when some of these roads were made. Might be time for a little adjustment in some areas. And I know it's expensive. Get those birthdays in. Odie is standing by. He's ready for you. We'll talk about who wins that coming up right before the top of the hour at 9. So get that into us. We have someone arrested. I remember a time a few years ago, threats were made online and nothing was really done. Nowadays, it's taken quite differently. Pam Bondi was threatened on TikTok A 29-year-old man named Tyler Avalos threatened her. He offered $45,000 to the person that, you remember that song, what was it, Wanted, Dead or Alive? That's what he did. Said he'd prefer the D word. He's been arrested and charged. It ain't looking good for him. These are not just words. These people need to be handled. We've got some, when threats are made, they need to be taken seriously. It will stop others from doing it later. Hopefully he'll be charged with the full extent of the law. I don't get this. And it's all a tactic, I would assume, when you're in court, if someone appears in a suit rather than a jumpsuit or a bulletproof vest. Charlie Kirk's alleged killer will be able to wear plain clothes while in court facing a judge. I didn't even know that there was a such thing as to fight that. But apparently it is. He will walk in as looking as ordinary as you and I would assume that's trying to look as innocent as he could. We've seen the video. He's not. I don't know if everybody is familiar with this, but when it comes to federal income tax, how much do y'all pay? It's a good third of your salary that is sucked away. Do y'all realize that during the first years of our country, it was until 1913, it was 137 years into this country, before federal income tax was ever thought of by lawmakers, politicians, to take your money. That's only been going for a tad over 100 years now, and it's out of hand. How did we make it before? Well, we'd have to do away with some programs that we truly don't need, wouldn't we? Maybe time to look at that. America's tired of giving away their paychecks to everyone. It's more and more each day. This is ridiculous. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the person that made the comment about Pam Bondi should have the law brought to them. And they've got this man's name. He's been turned in, and hopefully federal authorities will do something. Kids are kids. Bottom line, when it comes to Halloween, it's about Halloween. A man on, I believe it was TikTok, made the post that any child wearing that of a Donald Trump lookalike, so to speak, the MAGA movement, should be given fentanyl instead of candy. Can y'all believe somebody would even say something like that? I hope he's tracked down, handcuffed, and drugged to a local jail. We'll see what becomes of that. We certainly hope it does. I always like to have that policy never to hunt something bigger than me. Things go wrong in the woods, y'all. I've never had the urge to go hunt a grizzly bear. I'll leave that up to Davy Crockett and people like that. Well, it was in Wyoming that a woman went bear hunting. Somehow or another, she angered him, and he came after her. He latched onto her foot, and you ever thought, "Ooh, thank goodness I wore these shoes today." Instead of wearing the typical lace-up hunting boots, she had on muck boots. And when he bit into her foot, he grabbed her boot, and her foot slid out, and she was able to get away, and he ran off with her boot. Otherwise, she'd have been chop suey, as they say. Ooh. That was a miracle. I might be tender-footed, but I'm telling you, after a bear, I probably wouldn't feel it for a couple of miles. Yeah. Bears are big. Respect that. Good morning, Shirley. Good to see you there. And we're gonna get into what's coming up about Saturday. I don't know how this became popular. I think it's been out for a while. Refrigerators. That when you walk in front of them, they talk to you. Okay, I get that. Tell you the weather and those types of things. But now they're getting to where they give you commercials as you're standing at your refrigerator from Samsung. It will let you know what food it recognizes 38, 40 different things in your refrigerator that you're out of, and will show ads to replace them. What happened to just the old plain... Refrigerators are bad high. I don't know if you've bought one lately. You know, we bought ours when we built our house, I don't even know, 7, 8, 10 years ago. And it was like $2,300, $2,400 in. I don't know what a refrigerator costs right now. But they're high, without a doubt. And that was one that had the water. It was stainless. Still wasn't anything fancy. But my, I didn't want one that talked to me because it was a lot more. I can figure out how to open the door. Just thoughts there. This may be the ticket. Now, you've heard Trump, and for whatever reason, he lets it go on and on. You've seen the hats that say 2028. Trump sometimes does that just to aggravate people. But he did say something last night, the first hint of who he may endorse for president. Now, he's hinted at the JD thing, but he's never hinted at the ticket. Any guesses there, Odie?
No.
Odie doesn't have one. JD and Little Marco.
Okay.
He says they would be unbeatable. He may have a point.
Yeah.
In the other corner, we're looking at somewhere possibly AOC, Bernie, or Kamala again. Or Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
One of those, or I can hear the Rocky thing, who's going to win that? I don't know which one of those will come out and try to win that. We've got a lot of people that are being evacuated as this morning as we get ready for what's going to be happening to Jamaica. Our bases are emptying, making sure they're already empty because it's too close. It is at a Cat 5 getting ready to slam in. We will look at that here in just a little bit and show you the radar of what it looks like this morning. Mark your calendars. They're already gathering folks together. They've sent out the email, and it says January 12th of 2026, Fort Pierce. A grand jury has been ordered by a federal judge to be there. What will they do? They will start looking into the matter of they're saying what they call the Crossfire Hurricane, a secret file that was put up to take Donald Trump down. Boy, that's going to be an interesting jury. Grand jury will decide the fate of that if there's something to prosecute or not. Florida is where that's headed. We'll let you know as January gets on us. Let's see here. I saw this, and it's true. First, Amazon hired about 10,000 HB1s. And that's where people from other countries can come to work here. Most of them were from India. This week, Amazon fired 30,000 Americans. Do the math on that and figure out what they should do. Now, I won't repeat every word this guy said, but he's got a point, and he won with a landslide. The new Argentina president, I think his name is Javier Milei. I'm close. It's not perfect, I'm sure. It's a foreign language that I'm not used to. They didn't teach that in deep southern Mississippi English. But I'll use blanks of what he said. He was asked about what's going on. He says, you can't give a blank to let the left a single inch. He's saying that these ideologies that don't align with conservative values down the middle. He says, why do you call the blanks blank? We'll use, because there was several words there we shouldn't say. Because they are blank. They will kill you if you give them an inch, and they will destroy you. You can't negotiate with blanks. You just don't. I know it had a lot of blanks in there, but you can figure out what he was talking about. And sometimes you have to draw a line. Most of these people, and I watch these that walk up and down the streets of America, burn flags and kick things and turn things over. Most of them have never had to support themselves. They've lived off their parents or the government in some shape, form, or way, and they throw tantrums. It's time to get back to the basics, as Waylon would say. Bruce Springsteen, I know that's one of Odie's favorites there. They did a movie about his life. Put it at the box office, invited you to go see it. Guess what? It bombed. No one cared how Bruce Springsteen grew up and what he done. The Boss failed at the box office. Thought you should know that. President Trump arrived in Japan, boarded the George Washington. He was met by applause and Lee Greenwood's song, God Bless the USA, playing in the background. As I mentioned a moment ago, and I'll do my best to explain this, of the numbers that I see, we're calling it Snapageddon. That is coming, and it is coming quickly as we head toward November the 1st. And what I mean by that is the SNAP program, which used to be called the food stamp program. We're all familiar with that. Now, there can be no lie that from time to time Americans need help. You lose your job and you need some time to get back on your feet. There's no doubt about that. But as we get into some of these numbers, you're going to be shocked. Some are, this just blows me out. This hasn't even started yet, and we've got some what I would call left-leaniness are saying instead of giving kids candy, hand out canned food. It hadn't started yet. Do not forget, Halloween is for kids. They should get candy. Let me look at these numbers and explain what we've got going on. Over 40 million people in America rely on food stamps in some shape, form, or way. What you did not know, and all of this is bringing light to this and probably will be gone through after this. Let's word it that way. 45% of people, the breakdown, are immigrants from other nations that are receiving food stamp. Somalians, 42% in that. 34%. I got 23% from Iraq, Haitians that are taking advantage of this who've never paid in. 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps in America. Did y'all know that? 59%. Think about that. As you work hard every day, you're paying for stuff that, well, people aren't even Americans. And people do. If you've ever watched it, it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, Cinderella Man. Anybody ever see that? Russell Crowe played the part of a guy that had money. He was a boxer, professional boxer. The stock market crashed in 1929. He lost everything he had. He didn't want to go on food stamps, and he finally had to give up to do it, or his family would have starved. At the end of the movie, as he makes his comeback, he went back and paid back every dollar that he had gotten from the food stamp program. Felt that he owed them. And this was based on a true story. And he did repay the government for what he got. We've lost sight. We have people that don't plan on working. We have illegals collecting your money that you've put in case your neighbor needed it, who is an American citizen. This has got to be revamped. There are some saying that as we look at all of this, and again, some will disagree, some will say, okay, go in, take advantage of this time. Find those who aren't Americans that are collecting your money and, well, deport. We'll see if any of that happens there. Some will disagree with that tactic. But at the end of the day, we can't keep paying for the world. We have to take care of our own. Oh, I heard somebody say something about America first one time. It may be time for that. Now, again, don't take me wrong. I know that there are people that need food, and everybody falls hard on their luck at some point in time in their life. Let's just do the right thing. Did y'all realize that 1 in 5 New Yorkers cannot speak English at all? Oh, you've heard it. Now, I'm not talking about those guys that talk funny from the Bronx that you have to listen to 3 or 4 times to understand. If you've ever watched The Fugitive, and you're going, what did he say? They don't have a southern accent, and sometimes you can't understand folks. You have to take time. But I'm talking about those truly that can't speak. 1 in 5 New Yorkers can't. Most of our large cities have fallen to this because of years and years of allowing people that were not American citizens in to take over. Here we go. Trump has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize from the Japan PM. She also showed it to him, had it framed, and handed it to him as a gift as he arrived. I keep hearing those Ford F-150s have showed up in Japan. Anybody else notice that? They want to work with America, that's for sure. You ever had to call somebody out? This may end up being in a frame somewhere, and this is most likely going to come out more and more, and you may have already heard it. When Trump spoke to Pence, do y'all remember this that day? He told him, that he even wrote it down on his little calendar, and they've put it in a file somewhere. You will go down as a wimp, is what he told Pence. He didn't hold back. He just let it all out there. So there we go. Let's see here. This happened in California, and we hope nothing happens to this man. Sometimes the innocent are punished, are they not? We've seen that. You remember the guy on the subway that got arrested for defending someone? Y'all remember that? Yeah. Penny was his name. Well, yesterday, it was this week rather, a guy was in California. He was worked hard all his life, I'm assuming, worked up, bought him a Rolex. Now, they're high. I don't know what. It's probably not as expensive that big thing Odie's got on his arm. But Rolexes typically are expensive. Guy tried to take it to him. What he didn't realize was the guy he was stealing from was a professional MMA fighter. And when I tell you he whooped him. And then he whooped him a little bit more. Don't take from people who can defend themselves. They usually prey upon people who can't. That was one for the good guys there. We'll be right back as we're going to do your forecast next.
When your AC goes out, your sink leaks, or your breakers are tripping, you need help fast from someone you can trust. That's why we work hard to have the fastest service times and the most knowledgeable technicians in Central Mississippi. Our promise to you, at your door in under 24. So don't wait days for others to show up. Call Environment Masters for hassle-free plumbing, electrical, and AC. At your door in under 24, because it's not cool to make you wait.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 1957, and now serving Meridian homeowners.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Our record highs and record lows. 2016, it was 89 today. Back in 57, had that low of 27. As we look across this, here's our highs for today. 72 in Meridian. As you'll see, once you get to Philadelphia, we'll see those rain chances increase. The further north you go, the heavier it could be there from Euport to Tupelo. And then over in that Mississippi Delta from Greenwood to Clarksdale up to Tunica, heavy chance of rain up in those areas there. As you go south of Meridian, not much of a chance at all. We'll see 72 here, 77 down in Lucedale, and 75 on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. 60s up at the Tennessee line today. Overnight lows, look at this. It looks as though we could have some rain tonight there. 47 for a low tonight in the Meridian area, 51 in Laurel. We'll even see 47 in Greenwood, and that all the way toward the Mississippi Tennessee line there. Over on the Alabama side, we should see those 40s there. As we look at Bama, here's what we've got here for today's high. 67 in Tuscaloosa, 65 in Burmaland. Slight chances of rain north of Tuscaloosa up toward that Mississippi-Tennessee line there for the folks in Bama. Looks like it'll be a dry day over in Auburn, Alabama. As we'll see here, wind threat. It could mess up your hair. Wear your best wig if you've got one. Make sure it's on good. It's going to be windy out there. Be careful. Heavier wind in the Greenville there on the Mississippi, Louisiana side, Arkansas. As we see here, temperatures are nice and kind of normal in Mississippi right now. Still warmer weather as we get back into New Mexico, California, and those areas. But nice here, making its way into Texas. Our 7-day outlook calls for this is what we got. 72 today, down to 47. 10% chance of some light stuff tonight, as we mentioned. As we move into Wednesday now, after midnight, we should see some showers there. 40% chance of rain moving into the forecast. It's going to be great for these deer patches. We'll get down to 45 on Wednesday night as we make it to Thursday. We're back into the 60s there, but 58 tomorrow. Y'all look out on this. We're going to have to wear jackets tomorrow. Almost like Odie's office. 67 on Friday. It's cold in your office, Odie. You need to do something. Saturday, we'll see 69, 71 on Sunday. Slight chances of rain there on Sunday and Monday there as we go another week into November. Can y'all believe that'll be the parade as we get ready for November 11th there. Should be partly cloudy, 70, perfect for a parade for the veterans. It's not going to be a bad day, but mainly right around 70 for a week there into November. Should be great. And have y'all thought about Thanksgiving yet? Boy, that's coming, isn't it? If you're headed off to your favorite fishing hole today, Clarkdale Superette sends you out. Calm wind today, around 5 miles an hour in the afternoon there, but we're going to have some windy conditions overall moving into Wednesday, so be ready for all of this. Major times to fish today started at 5 and goes to about 7 o'clock this morning. We'll have another chance this afternoon right about 5:30. Minor times today at 12:30ish, and we should have about to about 2:30, okay chances of fishing there, but your prime time will be right now through about 7 o'clock this morning. Sunrise happens at 7:09 this morning. Sunset will roll in at 6:07. Now, as we look at hunting today, it's average. We're not going to say great, but we're not going to see bad. As we move into those major times, 5:02 through 7:02. You've got another chance again at 5:30. Again, we've got that 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. slot. 1 to 2 this afternoon should be pretty good. It'll be after dark before we never get another good chance of that. Sunrise, 7:09. And again, sunset will happen at 6:07. Daylight is starting to fade quick. It's going away as we get ready for the time change on Saturday night. As we mentioned, Category 5 getting ready to move into Jamaica this morning. Winds are at 173 miles an hour, gust at 213 miles an hour. Did y'all hear that?
241 was recorded last night.
241 last night. It's awful is what this is. 901 millibars moving north-northeast at 5 miles an hour. Now, that was at 4 a.m. this morning, the last official one. Let's go back over and take a look at radar of what we've got actually that we can look at that is hot and current at the moment. Here it is as we pull up Doc's Toyota radar. This is going to be coming into there right at a 4 to 5 as we look at this. Somewhere around 1 should be coming ashore here, 1 p.m. It's going to be a 5. Look at this. Again, right now, as we look at this, 173, and it should be a dead on right there at Treasure Beach is what we're looking as it goes across Jamaica. Now, what I want to remind you about now, this is just the eye of what you're looking at here. This storm is way bigger than the entire island, but this is the eye of this that will cross there, and it will remain a Category 5 all the way through Jamaica. It will then head to Cuba, where it will make landfall about right in here at a Category 4. Wind should be hitting it at 138 miles an hour and wind gust of about 170 once it makes its way into Cuba. Caution, caution, and it looks as though this will remain and go out to the east is what we're looking at, remain a Category 2 for a little while before finally starting to calm down by next Saturday to a Category 1 and making its way away from the Atlantic. Let's hope it stays that way. Now, let's go in and take a look at Mississippi of what we've got going on here, and then we'll break to come back. Nothing happening in Mississippi. We do have some Louisiana around Jackson, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, a lot of fog this morning, and we do have showers, heavy showers over near Hot Springs, Fort Smith, Arkansas, all the way back to Oklahoma City. Bunch of fog as you move up through Chattanooga, Knoxville, Asheville, and those areas there. Even some rain there through the Carolinas. Be careful as we look at this, no matter where you are across the big land there. We'll be right back as we get ready for the morning show. Odie is here, and we'll tell you all about his cold office and everything that's going on in Meridian. You have to go to 911 or anybody up there. Them folks are freezing. Something's wrong with the air. We'll tell you all about that in a little bit.